to our audition for the most brutal metal band to ever exist. So you're telling me that you think you have what it takes to join the most brutal metal band on the planet? Alright, well, since you've come here, I think the best thing that I could possibly do is at least ask you a couple questions and see if you perhaps would be a good candidate for our band, Death by Butterflies. And it's alright to freak out a little bit and be excited, but remember that you are auditioning to be a part of this legendary band. So first I have to do a couple screening measures just to make sure that you are of the right caliber of person that we are looking for to shred some insane riffs for us. Because of course we can't just let any old person in, and if we did, then the caliber of our amazing music might start to decline, and that would mean less record sales for me. And personally, I need my bank account to be just skyrocketing, and if you could be a part of that in any way, I would definitely consider you. And now I know you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, wait, isn't this all about the music? And of course it is, because that's exactly how we make all of our money. The record label does like to take its portion, but we've been trying to work around that for a little while. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to start off with this healing feather, and basically what this is going to do is remove any potential curses that you might have with you, because right now the band is at our total capacity for curses, which is 7 right now, and unfortunately our bassist likes to get into some weird situations that have caused us to acquire several more curses than we were hoping to have at this stage, but rest assured our deal with the devil is still on par, and everything should be copacetic there, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about as far as the damnation of your soul. However, with this cost of the damnation of your soul, you will get an incredibly cool pair of sunglasses, and most people will be able to tolerate you now. So that's a really cool thing. Me, myself, before I joined this band, I was quite intolerable to most people, so this was definitely a welcome change for me. So beyond that, let's just go ahead and try to remove any of these dark curses or spirits simple pieces of dirt and dust. So you know what, you actually seem like you've got a little bit too much, perhaps a little more than the feather is used to dealing with. We're just going to bypass this part of the audition and ask you a couple questions about yourself, just to make sure that you are in fact a good fit for this band. I just want to make sure that you are brutal enough and that you are definitely fit to even try out or be a part of this monumental event. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up my little black book of questionnaires, of questions here, and we'll see if you do in fact qualify to be a part of this metal band. So I'm just going to start off by asking you a couple personal questions, just to test how brutal you actually are and to see if you would be a good candidate for our musical endeavor. So first off, if I could just have your full name, please. Okay. That's a very interesting and long name. The second question is, who is your favorite musical artist? Taylor Swift. I'm actually going to allow that, as I consider Taylor Swift to be incredibly brutal. Second off, or third off rather, have you ever had your heart broken? Okay, good. Keep that shit to yourself, because we don't need any crying or tears around here, as that's not at all very brutal, but I'll definitely mark that down. Most of the members in our band have adverse effects to tears, emotion, happiness, and of course, rainbows and bunnies. In fact, I noticed that several of our band members have actually requested on their rider that we don't any longer allow magicians in the crowd, because sometimes they tend to bring a rabbit in their hat, and this can be very disparaging as we try to prepare to go on stage, as I'm sure you understand. Do you have any addictions or psychotic problems? Okay, great, good. That is most definitely a bonus here. Alright, now a major qualifying question that we have to absolutely ask everybody, because it's one of the most important questions when dealing with metal bands, and that is, have you ever seen the movie Twilight? Yeah, the one with the sparkling vampire, yeah. You have not. Seen the sparkly vampire movies, and that is good. Now I know you're probably thinking to yourself, do we want to hear you play any music or sing? No, not at all, actually. You'd be shocked to learn that having actual talent in some metal bands is actually not at all required. As long as you look really good and you give off a sense of being brutal, then the fans usually flock to that, and we can look at getting you maybe guitar lessons as we go, as I don't think it's a big requirement with the record labels and the music industry these days to sell actual music. I think rather ringtones are very popular. Of course, merchandise sales, cool stickers with my face on it, those are also really neat. But it looks like you definitely have a lot of the qualities that we are looking for in a candidate for this. You said you were a big fan of Halloween, which is great because we're going to actually be playing a Halloween show here at the arcade venue coming up in the next few weeks. So it would be absolutely wonderful for us to get you a little more brutalized. Maybe we can pierce a couple spots in your face, dye your hair some dark brutal colors, and change most of your wardrobe to all black. Now, one of the requirements that we do have at Death by Butterflies is that you completely and utterly give up your life, your family, anything that was previously important to you now falls lower on the list when it comes to being in a middle band, because as you already know, there is nothing more important than having celebrity and fame through some sort of entertaining endeavor. So if you could just go ahead and sign right at the bottom of the page here, that will help us get moving on to the next phase of completing this audition, which is like this dark, brutal, awful, scary version of American Idol, which families love to watch. So we'll get you moving into the next phases. We'll start getting you into wardrobe and getting you prepared to meet some of our judges. We are actually very, very happy this year to have Simon Cowell joining us, as he has been secretly very brutal for many years, and he just wasn't liking the American Idol vibes. So now we've brought him over to the dark side, and hopefully it's going to be a great audition. I can already tell that you have an excellent, scary, kind of spooky vibe that I think is going to fit well. I could tell as soon as you walked into the room that you are an awful person that just carries a lot of darkness with you, and that is spot on for the music industry. I think you're going to fit in wonderfully, and I'm very excited to help usher you along on your brutal journey. So again, thank you for coming in and taking the time to audition. The devil will meet you outside as he will collect your personal information, and you can move forward from there. Best of luck to you, and break a leg.